Hi, and welcome to the Higher Education Access Corner. I'm your host, Tiffanie, and today I want to share a few tips with that student who's heading off to college or career school for the very first time. The first thing I want to say is congratulations because you've made it. You've taken all the right steps, whether you needed to fill out some college applications, some essays, you needed to complete that financial aid work, paperwork, everything that you needed to do to get you to your ideal school has been done. So congratulate yourself and pause for a moment just to soak it all in. The next thing I tell everyone is be optimistic because you kind of have a clean slate right now. Everything you've done in your high school studies or at your previous high school, whether it was good or bad, it helped you to be who you are. But this is a great opportunity to recreate yourself. So maybe you weren't the best student academically, and you want to improve on that. Well, guess what? Your GPA didn't follow you. You're starting out fresh. Take advantage of every opportunity that is going to come your way and be optimistic. Know that if you put your mind to it, you can do the work. It might require some help, it might require some tutoring, but you can get it done and discipline as well. So, some of the other things I say is organization is key. So, when we're breaking out a few tips, I always say get organized. The better you are with your organizing, everything that needs to get done in your day, it goes so much smoother. I am not that person that can think of everything that I need to do. So the great thing is there are organizers that are out there. Get yourself a planner, create a to-do list, have it on the calendar. They even have apps out there that make it really, really easy. So as a student, if you needed an app to help you organize, what time you need to be at class, if you want to throw in, okay, I'm going to need to study so many hours a week, put that into your organizer, put that into your app. So that's going to allow you the opportunity to break out what your week looks like, or even what your day looks like. Also, if you're going to be working, factor that in as well. So whatever you need to get done, whether it's an activity or an event, also don't forget whether it's downtime for yourself, factor that in, get organized. Another thing I want to tell folks when it comes to organizing, always, especially as a first-time student, get to know your professors, talk to them. Professors usually, when you're in college, your college or career school, they're going to give you a syllabus. And on that syllabus, it's going to have key things that you need to do. It's pretty much telling you what's going to happen throughout that semester. And some professors will put everything on there. They're going to tell you the date of the exam, pop-up quizzes, when assignments are due. Add that into your organizer as well. Some professors give you everything and give you hints. Some of them will just kind of like go through the lectures every single day and then surprise, here's a test. So they may not give you an advanced reminder or advanced notice. Put it in your calendar, review your syllabus, and do that for every single class. That's part of getting organized so that you're going to be prepared for whatever is coming for that particular semester for all of your courses that are out there. In addition to getting organized, I think time management skills go hand in hand. So time management and having that skill set, that's your friend, I say to everyone, because there's a lot that you're going to need to do. And there's a lot that you want to do as a first-time student. So if you've not mastered time management, it is not too late. You want to make sure that you find time using your organizer or whatever methods that you have to go to school, go to class. Make sure you're taking care of your mental and physical health. So maybe putting some exercise in there as well. Have a social life as well. So there's so many things to do. So time management is key, and having a great balance is what's going to get you through, I say to everyone. You don't want to be all study and no downtime because it gets a little overwhelming and you don't want to burn yourself out. So you want to balance it out. And you also don't want to be all party and all fun and forget that you're there to actually get your credentials, whether it's a degree or it's a certificate program. You want to get what you need to get done. In addition to that, I always say as a first-time student, generally your school's going to have some orientations for you. Make sure you attend them because they are key. And there could be freshman orientation or orientation for something else. Whatever it is, even if it's optional, I always recommend that students attend. Why are you doing this? Because you want to know any and everything about the school that you are attending to help you navigate throughout the entire school year. So a lot of times in attending the orientation, it's going to tell you the things that are required of you as a student at that campus. It might reiterate some of the policies and procedures there, so you don't want to mess up on anything. So you need to know what is important to the school. What policies are they saying? Hey, make sure you don't um, break this rule because there could be consequences that way. Also, sometimes with the orientation, it lets you know some of the resources that are available to you, whether it's academic resources, maybe there's a career service or career placement place there. Maybe you have specific needs of your own, and there's a resource. Maybe there's some mental health concerns that you have, and you want to know, what's nearby as a resource for you. Maybe you're a student who's experiencing homelessness, and you want to know what those resources look like. Sometimes in those orientations, you're going to get the resources and the tools that you need in order to successfully navigate whatever it is that is going on with you. So don't skip out on them. Also, during orientation, you get to meet new people who are pretty much navigating at the same time that you're navigating with these new spaces. So meeting new people or just friendly faces sometimes makes you feel good as you're going throughout those process. Also, during your orientation, if they don't talk about the orientations and where to find your academic advisors, or what the purpose of your professor hours are, things like that, I want to share that your academic advisors, those are folks you really want to get to know because they're there to help you navigate your academic life. They're there to help you choose the right courses. If things aren't going so well with your courses, you can kind of reset or maybe try and change some things up. But they're a great sounding board to kind of guide you along with this process. Maybe you've taken an 8 o'clock class and you're thinking, oh, that doesn't work so well for me. Next semester, when it's time to choose your classes, you can talk to your academic advisor about how to better schedule for yourself. Also, maybe you want to change your major. Again, talk to your advisors about those things. So get to know them because they are a valuable resource for you and get to know them before you have a problem. Also, for the professors, professors are there to assist you with the classes that they each individually teach. What you don't want to assume that they're all the same because each professor may have a different way of leading their class. Some will say, hey, here's the professor, here's the syllabus that I'm giving you, and it's your responsibility to just keep up and turn in assignments when they're due. And others might be a little bit more hands-on. It might feel almost like high school where they're guiding you along. Don't assume that is the case, but know that professors are usually there to assist you. And many of them have office hours. So if you're running into problems or you have some concerns or you just need to chat with them about your class or some other opportunities, give them a call, check them out during their office hours, but know that they exist, but find out where they're located. Again, before you reach and have any problems. Develop good habits. That's another skill set that I think is really good for an incoming student. And when I say good habits, I don't just mean good study habits, good money management skills, and then good mental and physical health. Practice taking care of yourself. So self-care is a good habit to do. What I always say for everyone is do what works best for you. And you're going to be learning some different things because again, especially if you're coming out of high school and you're away at school, your parents aren't there to say, hey, here's a reminder, eat your veggies, take your vitamins, do the walks, get some exercise in to make sure that you're up to speed. They're also not going to tell you when to study, how to study, and when to get up for class. So along with organizing and the time management, make sure that you develop good. We'll start with studying habits. What works best for you? Is there a better time of the day to study? Do you like a quiet setting? Is noise okay? Possibly, do you want to go to the library? Maybe it's a study group. So you need to figure out what works for you. One thing I tell everyone is if you go to educationplanner.org, one of our websites, we actually have some assessments that are out there that will help you understand what your studying habits are like, and then maybe how to improve on them. But what I always tell students is develop some study habits. And if you find that the way that you're studying doesn't work, tweak it to find other ways that will, and reach out to study groups. Maybe that will help you get some tutoring, get some assistance. But whatever you do, know that you have to put in the work. You have to get that studying done. Also, I say to the student that is there, don't forget to take care of your mental and your physical health because this is overwhelming and life continues to I always say life is lifing. It gets heavy sometimes. So whether you're overwhelmed, whether you're doing well, know that it's okay to pause for a little bit, focus on your mental health, focus on your physical health, take a walk, do some exercising. If you need to reach out to someone for professional help, there are resources on your campus. And then again, check with one of the advisors or someone there or faculty member to understand if you need additional resources for your mental health. There's nothing wrong with that. Know where to go because you want to be your best self. And we're not always our best self. We all need tune-ups from time to time. And sometimes you forget that if you're a student, or you may not realize that there's no shame in needing help physically, mentally, or even academically. The other thing I say is practice good money habits because, again, you're working possibly with limited resources, limited money. You have a lot of things coming your way. You don't want to eat out all the time if you have a meal plan. You don't want to just go shopping and go to every single event. Create a budget that works for you and stick to it because you have school expenses, you have personal expenses, you might have a cell phone bill, and you don't want to just blow all of your money in one semester. You got a whole year to make it through, and then you got to come back. So put yourself on a budget and stick to it. You decide what it's like. And again, there are apps for that if you are not good with it. So those are just some of the things that I say you want to do. Another thing I tell students, step outside of your comfort zone when you are at a post-secondary school. If you're going to school, do something you've never done before, maybe that you weren't totally comfortable doing. So maybe you've never attended a professional mixer. Colleges have them all the time. So like career placement services, they might have a mixer where they invite some potential employers in. Peruse it. And I always say it's great to do it as a freshman because there are no expectations. You're not about to go into the working world, but you'll see what it's like just to interact and talk to people. So if you've never had to socialize with them, it's sort of like your first time networking with someone. Step outside of your comfort zone and get to know them. Maybe meet a new person or join a club or an activity that you've never participated in in high school. Maybe you're interested in tennis. Try tennis out if that opportunity presents itself. One of the things I encourage everyone to do, especially when you're in school, learn something new each week. I remember one year I said I was going to make that my New Year's resolution, and it was a great thing to do. I just said I want to learn something new and different once a week. Now, some weeks I learned, of course, more than one thing, but it was something different or something unique. It might require me to attend a museum or attend an event that was different, or to do some research on a different topic that I've never ventured before. But I think the goal of going to school, especially if you're away from school, is to make sure you're getting a full, well-rounded experience. And one of the best ways to do that is to make sure you're studying, because again, you came there to get your degree or your credentials. Make sure that you're taking care of your physical and your mental health, but make sure you have a social life. And that social life is doing some of the things that you want to do, participating in activities that are of interest to you. Figure out what's going on socially, whether it's the political climate, whether it's the athletic world. Do something to make you feel like, you're growing as an individual, as a student, so that all of the things that you're learning, you're piecing together will help you be a really sound adult who makes good, sound decisions. And you're going to be a productive member into society, and you have a lot to offer. One of the final things I say to everyone is you really want to have a great experience. And do whatever it is, you create your own list to say, hey, what are some top things that I think are working for me, that are not working for me, and create new tips for yourself on how to be a better student, better person who has better study habits, and just to have some fun. But what I say ultimately is be safe, because especially if you're away from home, you're in a different environment. So you want to feel relaxed, you want to feel comfortable, but always be aware of your surroundings. Know where help is at all times. I tell men and women, not just women, but make sure that if you're walking and you're on a campus and it's dark, you're not just distracted on a cell phone. You're not, walking alone. Try not to do those things because, sometimes not so nice people are out there, or people are just doing some not so nice things. So you always want to remain safe. That's not to scare you, but just to say, stay on your toes, be cautious. So those are just some of my tips that I have for that student to help you maximize your very first year in school. Hopefully you're going to be off to a great start, or you are off to a great start. Hopefully it's one of the best experiences that you have. I still say to that student, FAFSA season's coming up, so make sure that you complete your FAFSA. It opens up October 1st. It wouldn't be me if I didn't say that because we talk financial aid all the time. So we want to make sure you come back as a returning student. So get the financial aid paperwork in, still keep looking for scholarships, but ultimately be the best that you can be. Give it your all and enjoy your time at your college or your career school. So that's just me signing off just with some few tips. So hopefully you've enjoyed this session. Take time to have a little bit of fun. Take time to take care of that mental and that physical health. So that's it right now for this particular episode of the Higher Education Access Corner, and I'll see you soon.